everybody, thank you very much for tuning into this special but very brief 2017 yearly overview for each individual sign. My name's Lorien. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a tarot reader, tentative psychic I would say, and witch, and it's my absolute pleasure to bring you these readings every week, month, new moon, full moon, and on this occasion the year. So I did do a channel and meditation for a word or two for each sign, and just to give kind of a little bit of a summary as to what's coming through really. And this is going to be on a very general basis. If it is a personal reading that you want for the year by month yearly reading, then there is currently a 50% off offer till the end of January on my website. Just click below and it'll take you to my website, click on special offers and it's there. So it's £20, which I think is $26, something like that. And yeah, I think it's good. It's got numerology, rune readings, month by month in depth, so if you're interested, take a look at that. But this is just for individual signs. I'll go directly with the zodiac, and unfortunately I didn't have a pen and paper at the time, so I was writing it on my phone. So, but it's the same. The sentiment is the same. It doesn't change what I saw and what my guides decided to show me. Because at the moment, for some reason, they're actually showing me somebody with a blank mouth, like where the mouth is, there's nothing there. So some of you already, I'm picking up, regardless of sign, this is, you're not finding your voice yet. Well, this is the year you'll find your voice and be able to make it heard. So that's kind of cool. But the first one is Aries, and your word was change. Now, when I felt about this word and when I asked, what does change mean for Aries? Like, change can just be changing your mind. This is kind of change personality. Now, you're not going to do a 180 and you're not going to go from nice to Mr. Scrooge. What you're going to be doing is finding out the different aspects you maybe didn't know you possessed. So you're going to be finding out what it is you can do within your own limitations, and then maybe even surpass those limitations. You're going to find out what works for you a little bit better, and maybe have some kind of self-revelations, as far as I know. But the change seems to be incredibly optimistic. I was going to say opportunistic, and it could be as well. You may be taking a few opportunities that in turn change your entire view of certain things. But I do feel that there's quite a significant amount of alteration in your life this year. And for once, it won't be because you're doing something impulsive, and it won't be because of anything else. It's because you're actually going through kind of a level up, which is cool. Taurus, your word was pause. Interestingly enough, the reading I've just done, which is the weekly reading, the first card out was pause. So maybe it's something that you have to do this year. For those of you in a personal year 2, which you can have a look at on a numerology reading, the nature of the year is to pause. You cannot push anything this year. You cannot drive anything this year that doesn't want to be driven. You can't enforce your opinion on anything. For instance, your strength of will is so strong and your determination is so strong. You're stubborn. Some people call it stubbornness, but I call it strength of will, and it is really amazing for me to see that. You may find that challenged because you're required to stand still and do nothing, and it may frustrate the heck out of you at several points, but I think this pause is to make you see that there are other ways, and that if you do pause, you may actually be taken without a struggle to where you actually need to go. So I think that's pretty cool for you, Taurus, really, because it may actually than previous years. You may find that things come to you a little more effortlessly than they did before. Gemini, fluidity. Now, this is basically a word that can mean various different things, but the feeling that I get from this is more to do with your attitude. And simply, okay, so there's a one thing that says Gemini could be gender fluid. So you could feel more days like you're a masculine presence and other days like you're a feminine presence, or president. But you could be feeling like either or. And it's not to say that you are not that you are gender fluid, but it could be that you do see those sides of yourself. And this, I think, is basically your actions taking you from one to the next. And I don't see you struggling too much against the current this year. What I do see is more of a winding road where occasionally you'll have to adopt a particular masculine stance, and the other side you'll probably have to adopt a typically feminine stance. Now, I don't particularly believe in exclusive femininity and exclusive femininity. I believe that it can be united, but in the modern terms, it's probably like femininity is more intuition and masculinity is more strength and assertiveness. You can mold those into one, but you will find that you do fluctuate between the two this year for the benefit of you, basically. You will find that the more fluid you are, the more casual you are, the more just go with it. You are not stuck in one place like a few of you. I know that, who is it? They're saying 3 names to me, but I'm not going to say them. Some of you just sit in one place and stare at a screen. You need to stop doing that. You need to be fluid and flow and go with life. Now, the word for Cancer is formidable. Now, this is not a word I would normally use for Cancerians. Formidable is not something I would normally associate, but apparently you are. And to be honest, when I did get the formidable, I did question it quite a bit. I was like, really? Cancer? Formidable? But it seems like you are going to have such a burst of energy and such a determination and fire in your belly. People may mistake you for Leos or Aries or Sagittarius. They may think, what is overtaking this person? You could actually finally get off the fence, a few of you, and say, nope, that's not right, and find your voice again. This could be what I saw before. Your voice, your mouth was covered. You could be finding your voice. And I think it's very good that you're turning into this formidable person. This person who has an impact on people, and this person who knows precisely how to get their message across and precisely how they want to be perceived. And there's so much energy with you right now. I'm going to go through this year that by the time your solar return comes, for those of you with Sun in Cancer, it seems to be like boom, very big explosion. Okay, they're kind of saying that there needs to be a point where you know your limits and a point where you know you can't go any further. But other than that, you are going to be a formidable person to mess with this year. Okay, so Leo, you got 2 words. You got flight and you got sight. Because at first I wasn't sure whether it was one word, whether I was mixing up, but it was flight and it was sight. Some of you are going to fly the nest, metaphorically. Some of you are going to fly higher than maybe you thought you could because you're going to get off the anchors. You're going to completely throw away this dampening feeling of maybe the work situation or something like that, and you're going to find yourself catapulted to something different, which is going to, I think, in turn give you a better feeling of self, and you should be feeling a lot better about yourself as well. The sight area of it, I think, makes you see the repercussions of actions not taken and decisions and opportunities not taken before it happens, but before you don't take it. And also, as far as I can see, you can see the issues of going for it without a plan. because my darling Leo, one of my darling Leo best friends, she jacked in her job. She bought a plane ticket, sold everything, left her house and everything to come over to England for 3 weeks. She was in New Zealand and she came over to London for 3 weeks because she thought she would be able to get something. And she went back and she had to start up all again because she hadn't actually planned it properly or thought it through. I think afterwards she said, I need to know what my sight's saying now. And yeah, you will need to pay attention to what your sight is saying before you fly. So I think that's basically what it's saying. Virgo, your word was harmony, which is pretty damn good. Normally associate with, I think harmony just basically means that you need to be in harmony with yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much. Don't make any, again, rash decisions, they're telling me. Be harmonious with the people around you, but mostly don't sacrifice your personal harmony for the harmony of others. So for instance, if you don't want to be a no sir, yes sir, no sir, no person, because that disrupts your own harmony and you're bending over backwards to please everybody but yourself, that's not really harmonious. You need to get in touch with what is your masculine feminine balance. What's your, I'm going to invest all my time on these people balance, because investing time in other people leaves you without any. So investing all your time leaves you without any. But I think it's just basically all they're giving me is the yin and the yang, and if you want to look into that, you can do. But this is a harmony where you're not at the bottom of the pile. You're not at the bottom of the pile, and you're not doing half-arsed stuff. So that's basically what that means. Libra, you have a word which is shockwaves. Yeah, shockwaves. I don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to do something that creates a big ripple effect. And I think it will be in your life. I think it will be in others' lives. I think you may surprise and surpass your own expectations. I believe that you are going to start something which leads to the next stage, which leads to the next stage, and go like that. But whatever it is, you are going to, you're going to have a bit of a, not a bumpy ride, but a busy time. I see busy. Busy, 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 busy. Like, shockwaves is right. You're going to be like, oh, okay, now I need to do this. I just see it so busy, which is completely different energy to a lot of the other signs that I've just tuned into. It's going to be going here, there, everywhere. Oh, crikey, I didn't realise that. Oh, I've got to, I think this is going to hit around April, where you may be like, oh my gosh, I've just, wow, what's this? So be prepared. It's going to be a good change, I think, but you may have to limit the amount of energy you spend worrying about such change, because shockwaves aren't bad, you know. Shockwaves can be good. Next one, Scorpio, my fellow Scorpios. Groundbreaking. Well, this was a complicated one for me to tune into because I'm a Scorpio. I don't want to just do it for my situation. All I'm getting is a spider web. We are all connected. All Scorpios are connected. And the groundbreaking thing, I think this is connected to indigo children, mainly. So if you know of indigo children, or if you're a crystal child, or if you're somebody of the rainbow generation as well, there's something to do with our responsibility to changing minds, perceptions, changing art, creation. We've got responsibility on our shoulders. We've got to be the best people we can be this year, because we are basically the ones who are not as afraid as potentially others to go deep into the psyche and pick apart what we see. We're not afraid of the shadow aspects. We're not afraid of bringing people out and calling people out on things. We're not afraid of doing naughty things, sometimes bad things, and I wouldn't recommend you do that. That's not groundbreaking, that's just giving in to the shadow side. But I do see that we're going to be called upon a lot to do things that maybe the universe can't get anybody else to do. And we're not exactly going to be taking out the trash, but there's a reason that a lot of spies and agencies, like MI6, MI5, CIA, whatever, there's a reason that they prefer, whether they believe in astrology or not, Scorpios to anybody else. Psychologists, a lot of psychologists, because they understand the workings of Scorpio. So a lot of Scorpios work in end-of-life care because they understand death. You know, we take care of people as they cross over. So it's kind of our theme this year to be groundbreaking in just being Scorpio. I think that's basically what that. Speaking of spies, actually, Sagittarius spy. I think you're going to be ascending a little bit, and you're going to be more observant of people, and you may actually be even quieter. You're going to do things on the down low. You're going to be taken and directed to various stages that maybe you didn't even think you were going to be taken to. And I think this is going to surprise and perplex you and confuse you, but for the most part, you're going to pick it up. You're going to identify the data that makes sense, and you're going to identify what you need to do. You're the philosopher. You're not a strategist, but you may have to be. You may have to measure your actions, and you may have to plot and plan and be a little bit sneaky to actually get what you want this year, rather than be overtly blunt and honest, which I know you may have trouble with because you value trust and openness and honesty and truth, but you may have to take a little leaf out of Scorpio's book and be a little bit sneaky to get what you want, because spy, I think, is all they're showing me, like the long glass, like to see the longer picture. They're saying 5 years down the line, if you look at where you want to be in 5 years' time, that's where you have to strategize to. It may be a perception of it that you see as callous and shallow, but it's not. You don't have to take that road. You can take something that's better. But I do see your year as being more to do with not necessarily spying on other people, but being a spy. Do what spies do. You know, like being not undercover, but again, more looking at things and how they add up, and looking at data and seeing what you can use with that. So Capricorn, your word is decided. Now, I did ask a few questions about this word again, and it seems to be, because I thought it wasn't supposed to be decisions, but no, it's decided. So I think you're going to be very sure on what it is you want to do this year. Well, you're going to have to be very sure on what you're going to do this year, because I don't actually see many opportunities for you to split off and try different things. For instance, it's not a year for you to just be, oh, I'll sample this, I'll sample that, I'll sample this before I make a commitment. You're going to be committed, I think, from February into a direction as to what this year is going to be. So I think basically, I think the theme for this year is that you're going to have to decide what it is you want to do very early on. You can put off decision, I think. They're just saying that you can put off that decision, but you're not going to have unlimited opportunities to sample this and sample that and go here and go there, because if you delay too much, a decision will be made for you because you'll be too late in the cut-off point, and you'll end up on the road that you're on at the time of the doors closing. It's kind of like choosing which train to go on. And then you say, okay, you've got 15 minutes to choose, and then you keep going on and on and off and off and going everywhere. And you say, oh right, actually no, this train going to Bristol. I'd rather go on that train, going to Magaluf, whatever. And before you can get off that train, the doors close and say, nope, you can't do anything else. You didn't act quick enough. So it seems a bit cruel, really. But I don't think it's going to be a bad year for you, Capricorn. I really don't. I see this as being something that you can thrive on. This is going to be certainty. This is going to be, yep, I know. I don't see a lot of you being very indecisive, to be honest. It's just kind of a warning. I see a lot of you being, yeah, I'm going to make the best of this, and yeah, I'm going to be fantastic at it. basically. Aquarius, your word is amounting. Amounting. Not amounting, a mountain, like a mountain. It's amounting. So, what are you amounting to? I think that's actually the question that they want you to answer. What are you amounting to? What is all your work amounting to? What is everything you're doing amounting to? Are you showing me a lot of fingers and a lot of pies? So have you got too many projects on the go? Are you distracted by too many things as to what should be your heart and soul directive? That's a bit of a Star Trek reference. You need the primary directive. That's what they're saying. Primary directive. You need to assert to, if you, right, for instance, if you want to make money, pick a lane. If you want to be famous, pick a lane. It's kind of similar to this Capricorn, but a little bit different, because it's almost like they're saying this is more of an internal question that you may actually take the entirety of 2017 to understand, because it's a year one universally. You may actually be like, well, I don't know. You will actually have the freedom to jump from train to train and figure out what it is you want to do. You'll have that freedom to, because there's no on that. But I feel that you're going to be shoving away, like dropping side projects this year to focus on the main things, because it's all good having a distraction, but you need to really pick a lane. And this is not for anything other than for you to achieve your true potential. Now Pisces, your two words were gorgeous night. Gorgeous night. So it's weird how to describe it, because all they showed me was a starry sky, and the fact, and I don't know whether there is a word. It's the feeling that you get when you're sitting down and you're looking into the abyss of the space and seeing all the stars and feeling that it's a gorgeous night, and you're warm, you're not cold. You could be with somebody that you really love, but it's just the feeling of, oh, this is a gorgeous night. And it's almost like you're happy in your happy place, because you're in this cocoon of, I don't know, I have a fair few Pisces friends, and I feel there's just almost like a gorgeous explosion of glitter, and it's kind of like the feeling you get when you go, ooh, when it's all sparkly and pretty. That's kind of like your theme for the year. You may be given a little bit into wonderment this year. Things may surprise you. You may feel more connected with Source, Creator, Universe. You may be more connected with yourself and your own soul. You've got quite a deep but playful year, I feel, because you do have this playful nature coming out when you're looking at these stars and the planets and imagining the possibilities. I think you're going to allow yourself to dream this year, and allow yourself to think of what my life could become. What can my life become? You're going to figure it out. You're going to allow yourself to dream, and you're going to allow yourself to play with that thought. So that seems to be beautiful for you Pisces, and I really hope and wish that I was Pisces sense of mind too. But it really does seem like a very different year for many of us. Complicated year, yes, but busy year, good year, progress, and let me know how it goes, because I would be incredibly interested to see how these match up. And it could be that your sun, moon and rising are different, but it could be that one is more focused than the rest, if that makes sense, just like a normal reading. But yeah, let me know how things go. Make sure that you take care of yourself through all of this. Yeah, if you want a reading, the links are below. If you want to join me on Patreon, the links are below. If you just want to tell me what's happening, comment, email, I'm always happy to hear from you. But yeah, it seems like it's got various different leads this year. It's a little bit of a rainbow year. So let me know how it goes. Take care of yourself and read for you soon.